Hi, everybody. This is Simply Bud. My name is Brian Budd here. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe that video, and ring the bell for notifications. We have a new one today here that's from right before the collapse. Everyone pretends everything is fine. This is from Sketchcopolis, a reaction here. Is society collapsing? I think some parts are. What are your thoughts on that? I think they're we're getting there. See what's going on here.
How to read the final warning signs when the world has ended, the news is lying, and everyone around you is still sipping lattes. The grid still hums, the lights still work. Somebody's posting brunch photos while the supply chain bleeds out in a back alley. You can feel it, that wrong frequency under everything, but the neighbors are mowing their lawns and the anchorman is smiling. Collapse doesn't arrive with trumpets, it tiptoes, and by the time the average human notices, the shelves are already empty and the ATMs are already lapped.
I think uh, I think what did MIT say back in 1972? They did a study. I'm trying to think. I think it was 1972. Society should collapse for what 2040. So we have about what 13 years, 14 years. Let's say 2040. I'll be early retire. Yeah, early Social Security 62. Um, yeah. I mean, it's a possibility. I don't know. I personally think that it could. It could maybe not. I think it will. The way things are going. I think it's a competency thing. I think that you're seeing the shifts in society itself. You're seeing almost like biblical type things where good is evil and evil is good. Um, what's going on if you've been paying attention. So,
Laughing at them. No worries, we're building your DIY collapse detector. 6 signs, 0 gear, pure pattern recognition. Let's go. Why nobody sees it coming. The science of looking away. Here's the dirty little secret of every collapse in recorded history. People knew, they just refused to know. Psychologists have a name for this, normalcy bias. Your brain is a lazy roommate. It assumes tomorrow will look like yesterday because that's cheaper to compute. Studies on disaster response, Pompeii, Katrina, the 2004 tsunami, the early days of every market crash show the same pattern. Between 70 and 80% of people freeze, deny, or rationalize when the warning sirens go off.
yep. And that's usually what happens. And the thing is, it's like, being prepared is the most important thing that you could have for yourself and your family. But also too, just being cognizant of things that are going on. I mean, if you're looking at the housing market, if you're looking at cars, if you're looking at just everything, especially in the financial sector, um, banking, um, you're seeing a bunch of, and I'm noticing this. You're seeing a bunch of basically homes that are already scheduled to be in foreclosure or about to be to go into foreclosure, and you know that's what's happening right now. Still trying to get used to this OBS. Don't mind me. I'm like click, 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 click. But that's typically what you would see. And you're seeing a lot of them where they can't put it on the market, or if they try to put it on the market, right? It would cause a domino effect. But my thing is why are they keeping this such a secret? I think it's just because they realize that we're in such deep dog doo doo. I think that's pretty much what the issue is.
Only about 10 to 15% act fast. The rest, they finish their coffee. That's not a personality flaw, that's neurology. The amygdala flinches, the prefrontal cortex overrides it with, nah, can't be that bad, and congratulations, you've just been domesticated by your own skull. So step 1 of survival isn't a bug-out bag, it's learning to override the meat between your ears. Sign 1, the quiet bank shuffle. Before every major financial collapse, 1929, 2008, the 2023 regional bank wobble, there's a strange quiet, not panic, quiet. Wealthy people move money first, and they move it politely. Watch for sudden policy updates on withdrawal limits. Watch for banks gently nudging customers toward digital-only accounts. Watch for the phrase temporary technical issues appearing 3 times in 1 month. The method? Pull up your bank's news page once a week. Boring? Yes, but the language changes before the doors do. When you see words like liquidity, consolidation, or restructuring sneaking into press releases, the rats are already swimming. In 2008, Bear Stearns was fundamentally sound 72 hours before it wasn't. That's not a conspiracy, that's the public record. If your bank suddenly loves you and offers bonuses to keep deposits in, congrats, you've spotted a liquidity squeeze in real time. Sign 2, the shelf whisper. Forget empty shelves. By the time shelves are empty, you're late. The real signal is subtle substitution. The brand you've bought for 10 years quietly.
I am seeing a ton of that right now with Walmart in my area, Giant Eagle, Meyer, where I was getting tomato paste or puree, hard pack, non-GMO, because I like to make pasta sauce. I got the recipe from my mom, and like it would be out. Like half the time it'd be in, sometimes it'd be out. 2 or 3 years ago, it was never out. It was always there. Never had an issue. Same thing with just general items. Sugar. Well, we don't have granulated sugar, but we have sugar in the raw, or we've got aspartame. NutraSweet. It's like, what? Sugar? You're out of sugar? So those are some things that are kind of concerning. I've noticed that's been like that the past uh, since the beginning of the year. So that's kind of the shelf whispering I've noticed. I don't know if you can mention it in the comments if you noticed that as well. I've noticed that too.
Shrinks. The 16-ounce jar becomes 14. The family size loses 2 ounces but keeps the price. This is called shrinkflation, and it's the supply chain whispering that input costs are eating producers alive. The method? Pick 5 staple items: rice, oil, coffee, eggs, toilet paper. Photograph the price and weight monthly. Yes, like a deranged accountant. Within 6 months, you'll have a personal inflation index more honest than any government number. The US CPI excludes or adjusts volatile categories. Your pantry doesn't lie. When 3 of those 5 items shrink in the same quarter, something upstream is breaking. Could be fertilizer, could be shipping, could be currency. Doesn't matter. The shelf is telling you to stock up while it still can. Sign 3, the insurance twitch. Insurance companies are professional pessimists, paid to predict the quarter. The shelf stream is breaking. Could be fertilizer.
I'm going to take a picture of that. I'm going to do a little study myself, and I'll come back in 6 months because I buy all those. All right. Okay, continuing.
6 months, you'll have a personal inflation index more honest than any government. Stream is breaking. California, parts of Louisiana. That's not politics, that's actuarial science screaming. State Farm stopped writing home policies in California in 2023. Allstate followed. 7 major insurers exited Florida between 2022 and 2024. These companies have rooms full of mathematicians whose only job is calculating when a place becomes uninsurable. The method? Every 6 months, search your state plus insurer plus exit or non-renewal. If the men with spreadsheets are running, you should at least be jogging. They make decisions, not headlines. Follow the decisions.
Humana and Molina, they're leaving, but that's not really news. Anyways,
Be
continue.
jogging. They make decisions, not headlines. Follow the decisions. Sign 4, the elite real estate pattern. Billionaires don't tweet their fears, they buy land. Specifically, remote land with water rights, far from coastlines, near small airstrips. Mark Zuckerberg's Kauai compound, Peter Thiel's New Zealand citizenship, the Kansas missile silo condos that actually sold out. This is documented. Citizenship, the Kansas missile silo condos that actually sold out. This is documented, public, on tax records. They're not paranoid,
Wow.
they're hedged. You don't need
Missile silos, condos. So that sounds very nice. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the way the wealth gap is right now, I mean, you're seeing that in real time. That's why, they know that they're doing all this on purpose because they know that they're going to have to get out. But nothing's going to save them. Once it collapses, they're going to be in just as much trouble.
a bunker, you need to notice the pattern. When the people with the best information allocate capital toward isolation, water, and food independence, that's a free intelligence briefing. They are showing you their threat model. You just have to look. The method? Follow agricultural land sales in your region on county records. Public data, free. When out-of-state LLCs start buying farmland with well rights, something is being priced in that CNN hasn't mentioned yet. Sign 5, the language shift. Watch how officials talk, not what they say, how. Before every controlled collapse, vocabulary mutates. Recession becomes soft.
I thought when he said language shift, more more immigrants. And I'm noticing a lot of language shift lately. Um, but anyways, yeah, continuing.
Soft landing. Inflation becomes transitory. Bank failure becomes orderly resolution. Shortage becomes
Transnational transgendatory.
supply chain adjustment. War becomes kinetic action. This is called euphemism creep, and linguists have tracked it through declassified Cold War documents, Soviet-era press, and modern central bank statements. When a word gets replaced by a softer cousin 3 times in a single press conference, the thing the word described is happening, and they know it. Sign 5, the behavior of the calm ones. Here's the eerie part. Right before things crack, strangers get friendlier, cashiers chat longer, neighbors wave more, politicians smile harder. This isn't comfort, it's social cohesion making one last desperate bid to hold the pattern together. Sociologists call it terminal optimism. It's the same chemical glow people describe in the calm before a hurricane hits, in the
Yeah,
hour before a market panic, in the days before a city falls. If everything feels suspiciously fine, pay attention.
yeah.
Normal isn't supposed to feel performed. What you actually
I mean, you gotta pay attention a little bit. You don't want to be a You don't want to be a psychopath or schizophrenic.
do about it? This isn't a doom guide, it's a calibration guide. You're not building a bunker.
Well, I don't know. What do you think? As I can get my cameras done, do you think that society is collapsing, or do you think it's not? Leave it in the comments. Like, subscribe, ring that bell for more notifications. I'm Brian Budd on Simply Bud, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good day.